perhaps not, it may not be in response to this clip, but in response to her attitude towards Sibia, she used counterintelligence because she realized that she was not going to get far. What is your comment to that?
That's why I'm a police officer and she's not. Because I'm a police officer, deal with facts and deal with things, not counter and make stories. So her whole career profession is intelligence. So if that what she was doing is fine, but in terms of the evidence before us on a criminal investigation, she did not disclose that what she did, which means she was part of the wrong. It's a clip that is going to make its way now to the team that is investigating the movement of this docket. She was never a suspect, but I'm now presenting to the team because it's a new evidence that we picked up that we thought she was not part of. All along, we're blaming Sibia alone, not knowing there's a player behind. So this is a person, I don't know in her statement what she gave about a profile career in the organization, but it's a person that has been moving up and down. This side promotion, that side promotion all the time. But I don't know how she got it right. But it's one of those that maybe as we conclude here, we need to then start talking about some reforms in the organization because she arrived and she ended up being a lieutenant general heading both crime investigation currently and forensic service, the heart of policing.
Thank you, General. I'd like to now move on to Mr. McBride's affidavit. Mr. McBride, testified that Mr. Mandla Masangu and Mr. Kuba, who were IPID investigators, they submitted a statement to him regarding your involvement in trying to get him out of IPID. The allegation there is that you wanted these two investigators to frame him of wrongdoing so that he can be removed from IPID. What is your comment to that?
It is false. And there are a lot of false things that Robert McBride came and presented here. One of them was that I was not even in a funeral of the late Masangu. So it's a story that he made up out of his own, because he just didn't see me talking in a funeral. To him, I was not there. Maybe you should ask Ms. Wakembole where I was.
Okay. Before we get to the funeral, General, because that was going to be my next question, perhaps let me give a little bit more detail regarding the statement. This offer that you made to the IPID, you allegedly made to the IPID investigators, was in exchange for a brigadier rank. If we could just deal specifically with that first before we talk about the late Mandla Masangu.
Okay, well, first, maybe let me start here. I don't know when date that he's talking about that I made that offer. I've said that allegations are false. There was never such. But I had heard in the process that from Masangu that there was some intervention from someone from crime intelligence and on issues that were investigating. I just cannot remember the name, but there were some interferences that were happening at the time. It might be mistaken me for that person. I'm not sure. But as far as I'm concerned, I have never interfered with anything.
Amongst the cases that you testified about, which are at IPED or IDAC, has there been a complaint regarding this very thing that we are talking about?
You know what is strange for me is that there's not even a single of any of the case where Mkhwanazi was ever invited to give a warning statement or being interviewed on anything. And these cases, they date back more than 5 years ago. The story is about the case against you, but not a single person has ever come to me and say, Mkhwanazi, give us your version. What happened here? The least I could say, I know of investigation. The only one ever that I was approached was last year when Minister Mkhunu, allegedly, according to what was in black and white on the letter from IPIT, laid a complaint with IPIT on a matter of Impangeni. That was a time when IPIT wrote to me to give a statement to explain myself. Before that, there was never, to date. So I can't necessarily talk about cases that I was never confronted with. I don't know. They will make stories about cases. Like many other people can make stories about cases, but nobody has ever come to me to say, there's this case against you.
Thank you, General. If we can now then deal with Mr. Mandla Masangu. How did you know Mr. Masangu?
You know, the late Masangu, may so rest in peace. The sad part is that you're talking about the person if it's not, when he's not here. And it is a culture of the intelligence community to always make reference to the deceased because they cannot talk to for themselves. The late Masangu, I got to know him because of his brother. I met his brother at TUT when we were studying there, who was a brigadier in the police. So we were close with him. He was working at DPCI at one stage until he left the police. So I got to know Mandla through him. That's how I got to know Mandla. I got to know Cedric Kabinde through Mandla because I was not necessarily friends with them. My friend was their elder brother, his elder brother, which was in the police at the time. So the incident of Masangu then happens. The brother is working in Mpumalanga at the time. The incident happens in a plot. I don't know the plot. I was never been in the plot. So the brother calls me and he says, my brother has been shot. He gives me the location to come and attend. He is driving from Mpumalanga coming in. I lived in Montana in Pretoria at the time. So the plot is not far from Montana. So I drove from Montana to go to the plot, to the crime scene. That's how I arrived at the crime scene. I didn't even know where the place was. Fast forward, the members of the National Intervention Unit, they assisted with the investigation of the arrest of a person that was identified to have been a shooter. The person is arrested. The members are interrogating this person. And this person tells them that we shot this one and we acted as if it's a robbery. We took this thing to a particular house somewhere here. We left it there. And according to the vehicle, we drove back to Joburg. And I was paid so much money. It's a policeman that coordinated this thing. But to date, there's nobody else been arrested on that case except the shooter. So we believe that there are people that were behind it, that hired this man from Johannesburg to come and do the job. The funeral is held. I'm in that funeral for Mr. McBride. I sat in a front seat on that funeral. But he didn't even see me. I don't know what he had in his eyes. I was in a graveyard. He didn't see me in a graveyard. I went back home after the graveyard. And I was not alone. I was there with my wife. So this is a man who talks things he doesn't know about. And he starts making allegations. I still believe today